Myself, Grace Agnes, from the Department of English, Yuvakshetra College. First of all, I would like to thank each and everyone for joining today's session on time. The Department of English, Yuvakshetra College, is proud to host a one-day national webinar on the Good afternoon, everyone. Very good afternoon to all. Myself, Grace Agnes, working as Assistant Professor from Yuvakshetra College. First of all, I would like to welcome everyone to the session. The Department of English, Yuvakshetra College, is proud to host a one-day national webinar on the topic Reconceptualizing Language Competency. The webinar aims to explore some of the most common errors that we encounter while using English language and how we can avoid them through wise use. We'll move on to the session with an official welcome. For that, I invite our HOD, Mr. Jibin Jose. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Grace. Respected dignitaries and dear participants, good afternoon to one and all. I am extremely pleased to be here with you all as the PG Department of English in Yuvakshetra Institute of Management Studies organizes a one-day national webinar on Reconceptualizing Language Competency. It is my privilege to fulfill my duty of welcoming you all to this webinar. First and foremost, I extend a hearty welcome to the Director of our college, Reverend Dr. Matthew George Varel, who has been a constant support behind all the activities of our department. Father has joined to deliver the message today. I welcome you, Father, to this webinar. Next, I would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Tommy Anthony, the respected principal, and Reverend Father Dr. Lalu Olichal, our beloved Vice Principal, to this webinar. Now, it's my privilege to welcome today's resource person, Dr. M. Swapna, Associate Professor and Head, Department of English, Sri Krishna Adithya College of Arts and Science, Kovaipudur, who has graciously consented to lead the session today. I welcome you, ma'am, to this webinar. Next, I cordially welcome all the participants, students, and my dear colleagues to this webinar. Hope you will all find this session as something fruitful. Once again, welcoming you all to this webinar. I conclude my words. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have our college director with us today. I invite our beloved director, Reverend Dr. Matthew George Varel, for the message.
Good afternoon, one and all present for the webinar today. So first of all, let me congratulate the Department of English for taking initiative to conduct this webinar, Reconceptualizing Language Competency. We all know we are living in a most modern world, and English is the language of our international communication in all areas, such as politics, science, media, and art. And often it is the language of entertainment as well as of socializing. Having a good command of English helps us to have more opportunities in life, first of all, in our career. Studying English literature opens up a world of inspiration and creativity and develops our skills for today's environment. Reading world literature allows us to enjoy stories, poems, novels, and plays. It also helps us study the work of great canonical authors, for example, Shakespeare, Milton, or Dickens, or someone. It sharpens our ability to write, read, and analyze, and interpreting, and even for our self-expression. Advanced study opens new horizons of translation and creative writing. There are several different paths of careers, those who are studying literature. For example, graduate courses, if we are taking, we can become teachers, lecturers, journalists, business, or law. And for analytical people, they can be in marketing, advertisement. Even in publishing industry, we can see editors, proofreaders, literary agents. So many options are there. And even for creative writers, novelists, poets, screenplays, even in film industry, we find a lot of chances. So today's webinar, I hope and expect, will give you more enlightenment in the use of language and develop a capacity and master the language. So best wishes and wish you all luck. Thank you once again and congratulating the Department of English. Thank you.
Thank you, Father.
I invite Arya Nedungadi from 2nd MA English in order to introduce the resource person.
Dr. M. Swapna, Associate Professor and Head, Department of English, Sri Krishna Adithya College of Arts and Science, Kovaipudur, is a dedicated educationist with conviction and passion to promote the academic, emotional, and social well-being of all the students under her care. She sincerely believes that real education lies way beyond books. She has earned PhD, master's and bachelor's degree in English from Bharatiyar University. She has devoted more than 15 years in teaching English. She has a repertoire of publications in international journals, conferences and articles. She has also superheaded many training sessions organized for students and faculty members to enhance their communicative skills. She has launched an online course on verbal proficiency which has seen a startling success with 12,180 participants all over India and abroad. Her forte is Indian writing in English and English language teaching.
Thank you, Arya. Now let's lend our ears to our resource person, Dr. M. Swapna. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you for the sweet welcome. And very good introduction has been given about me. I am working as associate professor and head from the Department of English. And the invitation, it is really a heartening experience to me to be connected with the learned crew of Yuvakshetra here. And we have been associated with this webinar on reconceptualizing language competency. And I extend my gratitude to the organizing committee, the director, principal, and the head of the department, Mr. Jibin Jose, and my special appreciation to Professor Ashima, because she was consistently calling me for several reasons, and at times I was busy. My appreciation to her and all the coordinators of this webinar. Okay, now let this session be an interactive session. It will not be like a lecture and you are going to sit and listen, because English cannot be taught like that. Okay, so English can be taught only by practicing. So what is the name of this session? Tell me. Tell me what is the name of this session? Anyone can tell me, any one student or scholar? Yes, you are able to hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, what is the name of this webinar, national webinar? It is reconceptualizing language competency, right? So you might wonder, what is this reconceptualizing? How can we reconceptualize language? You might wonder. The meaning is very clear and lucid. To conceptualize means thinking in a different way. That is, forming a concept in a new way. That is conceptualizing. We are reconceptualizing how you can be competent enough in language. Okay. So I'm sure that all the students and scholars, you all are from the Department of English. Okay. And I know that you all know the usage of English, the nuances of English language, you all know. But what happens, very often we could notice that many of us make the same language errors. No, we commit mistakes in language. So what happens? This errors is committed right from the school through the graduation, and they are just common mistakes only we are committing, and that we keep making again and again. And what happens? It is because it is not like that. Grammar is very difficult to understand. We can easily understand grammar, but sometimes because these mistakes what we are committing, no, it is not being properly recognized or properly corrected. Okay, that is why we make mistakes. We keep continuing with the mistakes without even realizing that we are committing language errors. Okay, without the knowledge of that we are committing errors. And if you don't recognize them, or if you don't realize that, okay, and if you don't see the mistakes that you are making, what happens? If you are not able to correct yourself, what happens? You will continue with that mistake. So this webinar, no, reconceptualizing, language competency. This webinar, okay, it will help you to practice, improve, and as well as reconceptualize your language and make you competent enough in speaking. Okay, in enhancing your language skills. This will help you. So shall we start that? Did you understand? The meaning of the webinar, what you're going to learn?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
silent. Okay, let me share my PowerPoint presentation now. 1 minute. I'll present the screen now. So you are able to see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am. The screen is
Okay.
visible.
Okay. So English language, actually it is a very interesting language. Okay, you all can easily learn it. The focus should be on practicing it consistently. Daily you have to practice it. Okay, and you cannot learn it within 30 days or 50 days
Ma'am,
as people advertise
sorry
it.
for the
Yes,
interruption. Ma'am,
yes,
could you please enlarge the screen?
1 minute. You're able to see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, this is enough. It's okay, ma'am.
Okay. So first, I'm going to focus on few topics here where we often commit mistakes. As in the intro, I have told you that without our knowledge, we are committing errors. Okay, we think because no one was there to help us that this is wrong or to tell us that is correct. So without our knowledge, we were committing errors. I just wanted to point out only those things. So first, I have given you few examples here. We'll have examples and we'll have it like a discussion session. So in the first sentence here, can you see here that um, uh, I have given two sentences here. Can you see that? I'm working as a teacher and I work as a teacher. Can you see two sentences here? So in these two sentences, first sentence I have told that it is wrong. I'm working as a teacher. You would have heard most of scholars or students or teachers, they would be telling that I'm working as a teacher. So the correct sentence is I work as a teacher. Can you guess the reason for that? So it is because whenever you use the present simple tense, okay, whenever you speak in simple tense to talk about an occupation or some permanent situation, no, you should tell that, you should use only simple present tense. Like I work as a teacher or as Swapna lives in Coimbatore, like that. You should use only simple present tense of simple present tense only should be used for telling. When you want to express the permanent situations, you should use only simple present tense. And in the second sentence, I have given I have given the wrong sentence as well as the correct sentence. For example, I am having a large family. You cannot tell that I'm having a large family. You can tell it as I have a large family. Okay? Because this is also a gender situation and it is not an action that you are going to do, you are doing right now. So that you should not use their present tense form of the verb should not be used for gender situations also. And in the third example, what I have given, no, I have graduated from college in 2015. Okay, the correct sentence is I graduated from college in 2015. I have focused these examples because we will be using these sentences more often. So I have taken these examples. So in this third example, okay, if you mention the time, okay, when something happened like in 2015, you should use the past simple tense only and not the present perfect form. Okay, you should use only past simple tense and not the present perfect form. And I have also heard people say, I have sent you an email yesterday. Have you heard like that? People telling that I have sent you an email yesterday. See, you're saying yesterday, so you should not use that have there. You can tell it as I sent you an email yesterday. Okay, you can tell it as I sent you an email yesterday, but you cannot tell it as I have sent you an email. That is a wrong usage. Okay, and the next sentence I have given here is I met Mr. David for the first time in Chennai 10 years before, and I met David for the first time in Chennai 10 years ago. So here I have given the difference between before and ago. Can someone tell me what is the difference between ago and before? You are able to view the slides properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now someone tell me, what is the difference between ago and before? No answer? I told you it should be an interactive session. So let me tell you. See, when we are using the slide, no ego.
Ma'am, you
Okay,
may check the chat box. There are responses in the chat box.
okay. Since I am presenting the screen, no, I'm not able
Okay.
to see that. Okay, I'll check it later. So when we mention an amount of time in the past, see here, you the example I have given is I met Mr. David for the first time in Chennai 10 years before. Okay, so 10 years is an amount there. We are mentioning an amount in the past, so we use ago and not before there. So you can say 10 years ago, 10 months ago, 10 weeks ago, because these are the situations where we get confused with whether we have to use ago or before. Okay, so these are the situations where we get confused. So you should only use ago, okay, when you are using an amount of time. Okay, when you are using before, an expression of time is not at all required. Okay, for example, you can say like David had reached the station an hour before Sam did. Okay, so in such a situation, you can use before and not ago. Okay, now I'll move this slide. One minute. The slide is visible properly.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay. So in the second sentence, you just see, I have asked you one question. What is the difference between every day and every day? That is, first word, every day, there is no space between. Have you ever noticed that? First word, every day, where what I have given, there is no space between the two words, every and day. There is no space between these two words. 1 minute. Okay, there is no space between these two words. Can you tell me the reason for that? There is no space between these two words.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible.
No, ma'am.
1 minute. think that sharing has stopped. 1 minute. Now you are able to see?
Yes. No.
You are able to see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, if you press the F5 button, the screen will get enlarged.
1 minute. F5, yes, sir. Done that.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible, but it's a minimized form.
Yes. Now you just see this, no? What is it? Now you are able to see that, right?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
You are able to see the screen? Yes. Okay. Now tell me the difference between everyday and everyday. I have given space in between. What do you mean by everyday and everyday? I have given their examples also, like everyday. What is that? Can be mundane, and I run every day. Okay. I'll give you examples, and you just think about that. See, when these two words are joined, no, it is considered to be an adjective. Okay, when we combine these two words, it is considered to be an adjective. Okay, for example, you can tell it as these shoes are great for everyday wear. Okay, when you purchase a shoe, an ordinary wear, you can tell that these shoes are great for everyday wear, which is considered to be an ordinary or something which is normal. And another example I can give you, you shouldn't wear an everyday fit. Everyday outfit to working. That is also something that is considered to be very normal. And one more example I can tell you, don't use everyday dishes for special occasion. So here when you join every and day together, it is considered to be an adjective. Okay. And when you separate these two words, it is considered to be a it is considered to be an adverb. That is why I have given you as I run every day. Okay, it is considered to be an adverb. That is, I run every day, I go to park every day. And here and all, when you use it as adverb, you should split the word. Okay, you can tell that I have to work, every day, this week except on Friday. So you have, when you use it as adverb, you should split the word. Otherwise, you can, when you join the word, it is considered to be an adjective. Okay, that is one example that I wanted to tell you. And the next example that I have given here is, what is it? I'm doing good, I'm doing well. Okay, I'm doing good and I'm doing well. What is the difference between good and well? Because these are the words where we get confused with whether to use good or whether to use well. Okay, so you should understand one thing very clearly, that good is an adjective. Okay, you should understand very clearly that good is an adjective and well should be used as an adverb. That is, when people say I'm doing good, okay, they are using good as an adverb to modify the verb doing. Okay, it is used as an adverb. So technically, if you want to tell, you cannot tell that I am doing good. If someone is coming and asking you how are you doing, you cannot tell that I am doing good. Okay, you can tell only I am doing well. Okay, because that is only the correct phrase. And I am doing good actually means that you are doing good deeds like a superhero, something you can tell. But when someone is asking you how do, you can tell it as I am doing well. Okay. Then have you heard this word? For when someone is coming and asking you to introduce yourself, you will be telling as myself and Swapna. Have you heard like that? Have you heard such words? Myself, I am Suresh, or myself, I'm. They will use possessive case with that. So whenever if someone is asking you to introduce yourself, you should never use possessive case before the introduction. You can tell that I'm Suresh, okay, or I'm Swapna. You can tell like that. And this possessive case you can tell in a situation where you are using that I myself have completed this work. Only there you can use myself, and not where you while you are introducing to someone. Okay. So up to this, is that clear to you? I'll move on to the next slide. Okay. So this one, cope up and cope with. Have you heard this word cope up? Have you often used this word cope up? These are the common errors that we make. Have you heard about this word cope up and cope with? See, whenever you are using this word, I cannot cope up with this pressure. Most of us maybe will be using this only. I mean, I cannot cope up with this pressure. See, already we are using there. Cope. I cannot cope with this pressure is correct. It is because cope will always be followed by the preposition with. Okay, cope will always be followed by the preposition with. So never ever use up with that. Okay, and there are other errors that I have mentioned here, like called as dispose of, years back, years ago. So you cannot use years back, you can use only years ago. Okay, and for example, the second incorrect sentence word I have given here as called as and called. Okay, likewise, not only called, appointed, elected, considered, all these words. So, for example, I'll tell you, uh, he was elected as secretary of the organization. Okay, that he was elected as is wrong. He was elected secretary of the organization is correct. Okay, you cannot use as with the words such as called, appointed, elected, considered. For all these words you cannot use as. Okay, you can just like that use the word elected or called. You cannot use as with that. So I have given few examples here. Dispose of, often we'll be thinking that we'll be adding double F with that. It is not double F, it is only single F, and years back we cannot tell, it is years ago. And I've given few examples here. Emphasize on, we'll be mostly using that term, emphasize on. You can tell that I emphasize this matter. Okay, you cannot tell that I emphasize on this matter. That is wrong. So these are the errors that we commonly make. Okay, and dressing sense. Most of them will be telling that dressing sense. His dressing sense is not correct. Is not good. So you can tell it as his dressing sense. His dressing sense is not. Yeah, you can tell it as his dress sense is not good. Comprise of. Okay, that you cannot use of with that. It is comprised. And did a mistake and made a mistake. I did a mistake is a wrong usage. You can tell only as I made a mistake. Okay, so that is wrong usage. You can if needed, you can please take down the notes also. You can take down the common errors that I have mentioned here. And another word like more, better, it is incorrect. Correct one is better or even better. Like that you can tell. Okay. And quiz competition. Many posters we can see that people mentioning as debate competition, quiz competition. Quiz or debate itself is a competition and no need to add competition with that. Okay, you can just give it as debate or quiz. And the next incorrect word I have given here is I saw a dream, I had a dream. Okay, you cannot see a dream. That is a wrong usage because these are the Indianism that only the usage which is used only in India, and I have given few slides on that also. We'll see that. So the right usage is I had a dream. Okay. And another word I have given here is suggest me a reply. You cannot tell that. Suggest me an idea. You cannot tell like that. Suggest an idea. Only, me you should not use with that. And many of you will be telling that I have done my bachelor's degree. I have done my MBA. That is wrong usage. I have done MBA. That's all. You cannot tell that I have done my MBA. No one is going to offer you a separate MBA. So never ever use that. Even that is also an Indianism. Okay. So these are the things which I thought I could, because normal lectures everyone will take, but this I thought I could share it with you. So pair of English words we often confuse with. Have you seen these words all right and all right? ALLRIGHT. There is space in between. That is only the right word, and most of them will be writing, even in written communication we can see ALRIGHT. See, that is a misspelling of all right. So never use such words. Okay. And alternatively and alternatively. Have you heard about that word alternately and alternatively? Have you heard about that word? See, I'll tell you the meaning very clearly. Okay, alternately means alternately. Okay, alternately means, okay, the two things that follow after each other. That is first one and then the next one in a regular pattern. It comes one after the other. That is called as alternately. That is, for example, I'll tell you, Mary was alternately happy and sad. Okay, she was happy once, the next day she was sad. So in such situation you can use alternately. That is, first Mary was happy, then she was sad, and then she was happy again. Okay, but where will you use this alternatively? Alternately is different, alternatively is different. Where will you use this alternatively? See, this word alternatively, it is used when another option is presented. I'll give you an example for that too. I want chocolate ice cream. Okay, I'm telling you, I want chocolate ice cream. Alternatively, I would eat strawberry. It means that I prefer chocolate ice cream. But if it is not available, I will eat strawberry ice cream too. Okay, there is an option. You are giving an option. So that is only in such situations you can use alternatively. Okay, so this is the difference between alternately and alternatively. And I have given few words here: discrete, CREET means a prudent behavior or a modest behavior, and discrete means something which is separate. And appraise, to set a value on something, appraisal form. Apprise, APPRISE, it means to inform. So these are the few words I thought I can share with you, and I just wanted to tell you some incorrect Indianisms and correct English. So have you ever heard this word when someone calls you, if they are not there in place, we'll be telling as out of station. He's not there, he's out of station. Have you heard about that? See, this usage out of station, it is used only here. It is an Indianism, okay? And anywhere, if you go out and if you tell that he's out of station, it will not give any sense, okay? So the correct phrase is out of town. If someone is calling you and asking you where is he, you can very well tell that if that person is not in place, you can tell that he is out of town, okay? So that is the correct usage. And the second sentence I have given here is, you would have heard many asking you, today college is there? That is their question. And for that they'll be telling that, no, the college is not there. So don't make such a mistake. You can ask whether is today a working day or are we working today? That is a reply that you can give. Or yes, we are working today, or no, we are not working today. You cannot tell that my college is not there. That is also a wrong usage. And even you can see here another two sentences that I have given here. I came to college by walk and I came to college on foot. I have given here that I came to college on foot is correct. Okay, you can come to college by bus, you can come to college by car, okay, by any means of transport, okay, but the walking is not the means of transport, okay, you cannot tell that I came to college by walk. That is wrong. You as students of English, as scholars of English, you should never commit such mistakes. You can tell it as I came to college on foot, okay. So the next word I have given here is euphemism. So before going to euphemism, since you are not giving me reply, I don't know whether I'm audible to you. Whether I'm audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. So a perfect example I wanted to give you for this Indianism, no? You all might have heard a word called prepon. Prepon, have you heard that word prepon? It is the opposite of postpone. Okay. So in actual case, okay, in reality, this prepon, the word prepon, it is an Indianism. Okay. Only Indians use that. The correct word is actually advance. Okay, that is postpone, and the opposite of postpone is advance. But we Indians, we made our own usage telling that the opposite of postpone as prepone. Okay, and this word, it was conjoined by English speakers here in India, and the word which never existed in English language at all. So at that time we started using this word. Okay, and I mean the others, they were using advance only, but only the Indians used the word called prepone. So we can, we were using that, we can prepone the meeting to 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. like that. So instead of telling that can we advance the meeting to 2 p.m., we were telling can we prepone the meeting to 2 p.m. So later on what happened, no? Since there is much influence of Indian English on the evolution of language, what happened? The fact is that it is they thought that this word is definitely useful. Okay, and finally they have added this word prepon in Oxford Dictionary too. Okay, so since we have much influence, there is too. So no, even now, nowhere outside India you could hear the word prepon. The right usage, the correct usage is advance. Can we advance the meeting? Like that. Can we advance the reopening date? Like that you can tell. Okay. So that is what I wanted to mention. And now the word euphemism. Okay. Have you heard about this word euphemisms before?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's good. So euphemisms, I have given here a few examples. That is the words which you, the words or phrases that you use in a very pleasant way. Okay, the words which you wanted to avoid saying in an unpleasant or offensive way. You are a different form of usage of words. Okay, in a pleasant way, you wanted to tell that. For example, I have given here senior citizen is a euphemism of old person. Instead of calling that person as old person, you are using senior citizen. So that word is called as euphemism. Okay. And the next sentence I have given here is phrase left to pursue other interests or let you go are euphemisms for fired. Instead of telling that he is fired or she is fired from the job, you can tell and you can use these types of euphemisms, that is left to pursue the interest or let you go, like that. Okay. So instead of telling that you have fired someone, that will not look nice. Okay, so that you can use such words. And she is a curvy woman. What does it mean? When you use it as she is a curvy woman, can you tell me what is the meaning of that? It means that someone who is hefty, that is, if you, if someone is has an overweight, okay, you use this euphemism for that. Okay, if someone is having much weight, you can tell that she is a curvy woman. And can you tell me another word I have given here? Jimmy was sent to a correctional facility. Correctional facility here, it means jail or prison. Okay, instead of using the offensive word or the unpleasant word jail or prison, you can use the term correctional facility. Okay, so these are the euphemisms. I mean, euphemism means I have already given here to soften that difficult situation, you use a pleasant type of word. Okay, now the next topic which I am going to tell you is important. That is redundancies. Have you heard about this word redundancies? Have you ever heard about this word redundancies?
Yes, ma'am, we have heard.
Okay. Redundancies means, as I have mentioned here, it is a needless repetition of words or ideas. Okay, so we often see and hear redundancies such as free gifts. You might have heard that, free gifts, foreign imports, and they can be easy to overlook. I mean, if we focus on, concentrate on. So we should be on the lookout of these needless repetitions, and we should ready to eliminate all these expressions that add nothing to what's being said. So we should try to avoid this. So I have given here few examples. That is, do not return back home without completing the work. Okay, in this sentence you could see two words conveying the same meaning. Okay, that have been using here. See here, do not return without completing the work. Here, return itself means what? Coming back. So you cannot tell that do not return back. You can tell it as do not return without completing the work only you can use. Don't use it as do not return back without some. That is wrong usage because it is redundancy. And the next sentence, if you see, I'm enclosing here with my resume. So most of us make mistakes here. I'm enclosing here with. Enclosing itself means that you are enclosing something with some other document or whatever it is. So even that is also a redundancy. And for example, you would have heard many telling that fallen down. Fallen itself means that something that falls down only, nothing can fall up. So that is a wrong usage. I mean, you cannot tell that he fell down. Okay, he fell on the floor, you can tell, or he fell from the cot, you can tell like that. You cannot tell that he fell down on the floor or he fall down or falling down, whatever it is. You cannot use down with fall. That is wrong usage. Okay. So these are the few redundancies. I have given examples also, like final decision, adequate enough, early beginnings, merge together, new beginning, advanced planning, return back, attach together, emergency situation. So all these are redundancies. All time record. Record itself means that you have done for a long time the performance or achievement. You cannot tell it as all time record. See here, the next few redundancies I have given. Ask a question. To ask itself means to pose a question. You cannot tell, ask me a question. Okay. So different kinds, even that is also a redundancy. Kinds itself refers to variety of or different types. Okay. So which are essentially different from each other. Okay. Tell me the kinds of books that you read. Don't tell that. Tell me the different kinds of books that you read. That is wrong. Likewise, each and every. Okay, often we'll be using this term each and every. Each itself means, okay, each and everything. Okay, each and every object. You cannot use each and every. That is a wrong usage. Like browse through, combine together, and false pretense. All these words are redundancies. And the next slide I have given like current trend. No, okay. Manually by hand. Manually, it means that you are doing it yourself. Outward appearances. Past experience itself, it is from the past. We'll be telling it as past experiences. Then I have given here few words where you should not use singular and plural. Okay. You all will be thorough with the subject verb agreement where you all know where you should use singular verb and where you should use plural verb. But here I have given a few examples like where you should use singular and plural. Okay, like I mean indefinite. When these nouns become subject, they always take singular verbs, and I have given here the words which take the singular form. For example, everyone is selfish. So you will be getting confused whether we have used here everyone. So should I use plural verb? So don't get confused. I mean the words which I have mentioned here, with these words you should use only either and neither. Okay, they are singular that I have mentioned here, that they are singular, and if they are not used with or nor only, they are singular. You can use it as singular, you can use singular form of the verb only if they are not used with or nor. Okay, I have given example also there. Either of you or neither of you is responsible enough to handle it, or in the second sentence if you see neither of them, it is plural form. So we have taken deserves only, because I have already told you either and neither are singular if they are not used with or nor. But in the next example, if you see, neither the principal nor the professors were present. So here you have used nor. And in the next example also you have used or. So it takes the noun which is the plural noun or the singular noun which is nearby to the verb. So neither the principal nor the professors were present. Where is the plural form of the verb. And in the second sentence, either his he or his friends have made this mistake. So have is the plural form of the verb. So I have given few examples here. Everybody wants to live happily. Okay, everybody. I told you that everybody also will take only singular form of the verb. Singular form of the, you should remember one thing. Singular form of the verb have yes with that, and plural form of the verb will not have yes with that. Okay, that is just opposite to the subject of the verb has yes with that, and plural form of the verb will not add yes with that. That is a basic rule. Okay, then with the expression one of, okay, after the expression one of, the noun which comes after that should take only plural form of the verb. That you should remember. Okay, that is one of his friends. 1 minute. One of his friends is infected by coronavirus. So whenever you are using one of, the word which comes after that should be in plural form. So I have given here a few examples. That is, people has left, people have left. Okay. So incorrect usage is, though people, it appears to be singular, it is plural form. You all know that you cannot use the word peoples again. That is also wrong. Okay. People have left, and one must help his siblings. That is incorrect form, because when you begin the sentence with one, you should use continue with that phrase only, word only. That is, one must help one siblings. That is only correct. And the teacher has took the responsibility is incorrect. The teacher has taken the responsibility is a correct form of usage. Okay. So the next sentence, if you could see the words here as furniture and furniture. Furnitures I have given, that is wrong, and in the second sentence I have given furniture. That is, he designed all the other kinds of furnitures in the hotel. That is wrong. Word furniture is furniture only. Like that, there are many words like equipment. You cannot tell it as equipment. That is wrong usage. Equipment itself is plural. Clothing, you cannot tell. Clothing. Feedbacks is wrong. It is feedback. Footwear, it is wrong. It is footwear. Informations, you cannot mention only. Luggage, even faculty members will be using staff. Staff is wrong. It is staff itself is plural. So we should avoid such form of usage. And the examples I have given here is before last. You cannot tell it as before last month. Okay. Always use months before last. Okay. That is when you wanted to tell something, usually used with qualities of time. Okay. Such and years, months, week, everything. That is year before last. You can tell week before last. Don't use it as before last month or before last year. That is wrong usage. And so this is the best thing which she could do. That is wrong. You can use it as this is the best thing that she could do. That is, whenever you are using the superlative form, okay, you should use only which. So that is what I have given. See here, this sentence, unless you do not, and it is always used as, it should not, no, that not should never be used with unless. That is the rule. Okay. Not with that. That is one usage. So the next slide. Despite of the pain in his leg, he completed the marathon, and that is incorrect sentence. Despite the, you should not use off with that. Despite the pain in his leg, he completed the marathon. That is, never use despite with off in a sentence. That you should remember. But that the opposite is the case. Despite of having a headache, I enjoy the film. So with the despite, okay, you should not use off errors that the people often commit. So I just focused on all these aspects. Okay, the everyday errors that we commit. So I mean, any doubt you can please ask me. Whether what I have told you is clear to you.
Yes, ma'am, it's really clear. You have made the session really very informative. We are thankful to you. Participants, if you have any doubts, you may please unmute and speak or just type it in the chat box. I think there are no doubts. Thank you, ma'am. We'll wind up the session with a vote of thanks from Ashima Bharathan, Assistant Professor of Yogakshetra College and the coordinator of this webinar.
Good evening, everyone. As the coordinator of this one-day national webinar, I deem it as a great honor to propose a vote of thanks to all those who have helped in making this webinar a resounding success. I mention my deep sense of gratitude to the Yogakshetra College management, especially our director, Reverend Dr. Matthew George Varel, for the introductory note. My hearty thanks to our Vice Principal, Reverend Dr. Lalu Alikil, and our Principal, Dr. Tommy Anthony, for their constant motivation and support. Let me take this opportunity to thank our HOD, Mr. Jibin Jospe, for the welcome speech. Your support meant a lot, sir, in making this webinar possible. I sincerely thank the resource person, Dr. M. Swapna, Associate Professor and Head of the Department, Head of the English Department, Sri Krishna Adithya College, Kovaipudur, for the awesome session on structuring of language through different perspectives, how to use English language correctly and appropriately to meet the purpose of communication. Thank you so much, madam. I thank the participants for their interest and patience throughout the webinar. I thank the assistant coordinators, Ms. Grace Agnes and Ms. Vinita Thomas, for their unending help rendered throughout the planning and execution of the webinar. I thank Mr. Franklin A., the technical coordinator, and Mr. Sujit PV and Mr. Girish, the IT coordinators, for their technical scaffolding. Once again, thank you all. All the participants are requested to fill the feedback form, and you will receive, once you fill the feedback form, you will receive the certificates within 2 days into your registered mail ID. So thank you all. Thank you once again.